conversations are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
Well, if you say so, I guess that's true. I don't know. Good morning. It is Monday, June 13th, 2022. I had to look down at the calendar to say what day it was. Monday again. You know what? I'm dreading Mondays, even though I'm not a working guy. I don't job. I don't do no job. But Mondays kind of suck. But it's a beautiful day out here, summertime. Hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are. And I hope it's not too Monday-ish for you. Had a pretty interesting weekend, as always. I always have interesting weekends. Friday had a gig at a psychiatric ward. Yes, that's always fun. And first timer for some of the things there. The psych ward that I was playing at, as I was getting ready to start, had, the only way I can put it was a breakdown, a psychotic breakdown. One of the people on there got violent and crazy and screaming, and took many guards and many orderlies or whatever they call them to settle this person down, put them on a I guess stretcher. I don't know what they call it, and get them out of there. So I was delayed in getting started, and then put me in a very small room playing just acoustically for maybe 8 to 10 people in the psych ward. And 3 songs in, another person had a similar psychotic episode. I don't know, screaming like a demon the entire time. And instead of get me out of there, they said keep on playing. So I'm playing through the screaming of psychotic death screams. Very different kind of gig. So that was Friday's gig. Saturday evening was wonderful. Best gig of the year so far. We played at a place called the Ore. And I love summertime and Saturday nights and outdoor gigs. And I love pretty ladies dancing out in front of me. So, and under the stars, on the water, all of that. No bugs. That's important. In the summertime when you're playing underwater, you need that no bugs clause. No bugs. So it was great. And very fun. And then yesterday's gig got rained out, even though there was no rain. Very strange. And it was a good time. A good time was had by all. Now, yesterday, a couple of things of interest. Yesterday at the soup kitchen, young man I was having breakfast with asked me, he's homeless, and he asked me if he could come live with me or stay with me while he gets on his feet. And I said no. We've had homeless people come in and say they were going to stay for a short while, trying to get on their feet, and it always ended up in a disaster. It ended up having to have them evicted legally, going through the court system. They ended up stealing from us, and it was not good anytime. And we've done it 6 times now. We're reviewing it with my wife. And so that I said no, and I felt terrible saying no, but enough is enough. People there at the soup kitchen can be gossipy a little bit, and one of the women who were volunteering, working with me in the morning, let my wife know that I said no to this guy, and she was very upset. How could you? Haven't you had enough? Haven't you had enough of getting robbed, getting stolen from, having to go through eviction, go in the court process, all that stuff, the money it costs us to get a lawyer and go to court and all that kind of stuff? He's a young man. He needs help. He needs a hand up, my brother. So I said, you know what? I'll do this on the very, very strict rules. Number one, he's got to get a job starting tomorrow. I will take him to get a job because there's no shortage of jobs around here. Fortunately or unfortunately, whatever, with a worker shortage, places are hiring and they don't really care. So I could get him a job at Walmart, which I did. Skipping ahead, this is part of. So the rules are: he's got to get a job. He's got to sign over all his money, all his paychecks to me until we have enough to get him um, a furnished room, which I figure will be six paychecks, 6 weeks of paychecks. They pay it's 3 paychecks because they pay every 2 weeks, but 6 weeks of paychecks will be enough to get him a furnished room at the going rate in this area. He needs to sign over all the money to me and take a drug test every other week. And basically, he agreed to that. So now a young man named Thomas is living with us for the next week. I got him a job at Walmart last night, brought him out there and got him a job. And he started this morning. Now I'm giving him bus fare and lunch money, and at the end of when he gets paid, I expect to get the paychecks. If I don't get the first paycheck, then there's gonna be a problem, and me and my wife are gonna fight about this stuff. But I think he will. And then so when 6 weeks comes, we'll be able to get him a furnished room, and he'll be on his own. We'll see. Hope. Keep your fingers crossed for young Thomas, 23, 24-year-old man, trying to get his life back together. Uh, it is what it is. So I guess I feel better about that. But last thing we need is to call the cops and say, it happened again, because the cops are sick of helping us out whenever this happens. So hopefully things will go well. He's at work this morning. Got up, went to work at Walmart, which is good. Got on the bus, put himself on the bus, and he's at Walmart. Then yesterday, somewhere around noontime, I looked out my front window and I said to my wife, I think there's a groundhog dying on our front lawn. She said, oh no. I said, let me go out there because my eyes suck. Let me go see what it is. Turned out to be a very small deer. And I was like, oh, but I could tell it was breathing and its ears were moving. It was, deers do that. Their ears flop around when they hear stuff, but it was curled up looking like it was dying. And my wife was trying to get closer to it, and she's saying, baby, baby. I like, the thing doesn't have a name, and it's not going to respond to baby. Baby, baby. And so as we got closer, I could see the eye was like, it had an eye that was really not well and infested with ticks. It looked really, really, really bad. What do we do? I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's never happened before. Uh, I shouldn't say that never happened. It wasn't a deer never happened before. We've had animals come here to die, and then I think they figure out that we're not going to let them die. Yeah, we'll go to the sucker's house. They'll take care of you. So, called several vets. Nobody wanted to come. Finally got through to a animal rescue center who sent a vet out here. And she said, yeah, that tick infestation, the mother abandoned them because tick infestation was so bad that it would spread to the mother and then her health would be in danger. And she knows that. And she left the thing there to die. So she said, we can fix this up. And she actually, in the back of the truck, basically got all of the ticks off her, and things started to come a little bit back to life at that point. But she said this thing can never be. It's too young to ever be released back into the wild. It's going to need, 8 weeks of rehab and all that stuff. So it's living. It's going to live at a animal rescue shelter not far from here. Good. The happy ending of the story is, we'll be able to visit the thing. It's going to have a happy life with orphans like it, just like itself. So it's kind of it's kind of sad that the mother abandoned it, but so good for happy that it's going to survive and all that stuff. So there's happy news. Yay, happy news. I don't need Kira for any happy news today. I brought my own happy news. Happier news than she ever brought to the show. Anyway, that was my weekend. I hope you had a beautiful weekend wherever you are. William Conway will be with me shortly, and we'll talk about what's going on in his life, comedy wise. I think last week he wanted to get in on the Jackie Kiera discussion of all the religious crap. I just, when it comes to religion, I'm just like, Friday night, I had a surprise show, because I did not have a gig Friday night. I had the psych ward gig Friday afternoon. Friday night, I did not have a gig. So a last minute scheduling of Jess Paul. Jess Paul was actually in the chat room on Friday morning, and had her on Friday night. Wonderful talent, amazing talent. I want to share some of her talent with you. She's got a film that's in kind of a fundraising mode right now called Olivia's Day. And there are links to that in the description of the show that was for Friday night. But I want to share with you just a little bit of her reel. Incredible actor, incredible. I mean, and I've had some young filmmakers on, and actors, and nobody has ever, and I can't even think of like Hollywood big shots that have been able to make me believe in a very short time in a film. And so I'm gonna, before we get too far into this, let me share that with you now, because please, just give this a second. I promise you won't be disappointed here with this. And if I break a promise to you, you can just shoot me. Anyway, here is a little bit of Jess Paul.
If you need to talk to somebody, maybe you should be talking to them.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong, except nothing's right with me. I can't talk about death, and that's my job. I saw this ad asking for a people person, and I thought, I like people. It's not their fault that they don't like me, because I'm just the girl who calls to say, hey, you ready to die? Well, give me your money. Like, I try to make things more lighthearted, but I suck at it because I get all anxious and uncomfortable, and I don't come across funny, just insensitive, and I'm afraid I'm going to get fired for it. Afraid if I don't, then I'm going to quit, because I am so tired of talking about people dying, but I can't afford to quit, so I go off script, suck at my job, and round and round I go, and here I go again, just trying to justify everything as if any of my problems amount to anything more than me just being stupid. I'm just stupid. Just don't lose the caller, Daisy. Reel him in, Daisy. Why aren't you dialing, Daisy? And I burnt my eggs this morning.
I just want to tell you how perfect this moment is. But the word perfect isn't good enough.
I feel it too. Is there anything I can do to make today even more perfect for you?
You could stop the sun from rising So we can stay in bed all day together instead of having to go to work. Right.
All right, just enough of that. Anyway, I that first piece you saw was from a film called A Funny Man, and basically the premise here is guy's committing suicide. He's in his garage. He turned on the car and closed and sealed off all the ventilation, and he's doing it. And he calls a suicide hotline, and they put him on hold. And then a telemarketer calls. She's the telemarketer, and she's trying to sell him life insurance. She ends up. I don't want to spoil, but obviously, I think it's pretty clear that sooner or later it's going to have a happy ending. He's not going to kill himself, but just the raw, believability that she brought to that role just really struck me. So, if you have an hour and want to get inspired and see a really compelling podcast with a really powerful creator. She's also an artist and a producer, and just somebody who just blew me away. So check that out. That was Friday night. Her name is Jess Paul, and so that's in the archives. And then uh, last night I had a Morgan Quaid, who is a comic book and graphic novelist author from Australia on. Never ceases to blow me away how we can have video calls from Australia with no lag. It's just, back in the, it never ceases to amaze me because back in the day, I hate that fucking phrase, don't you? Back in the day when long distance charges were a thing, long distance charges. You make a phone call and you'd pay whatever the rate was per minute per phone call. And then if you go over the 3 minutes or whatever, then the rate increases. But if you were going to call, say, California from New York and have a half-hour phone call, you'd end up paying like $45 or something crazy like that. A phone call to Australia for an hour and 10 minutes would have put you in a second mortgage than thousands and thousands of dollars. And here we are able to have a video call live without any lag all the way around the world. It's amazing. Just think about it. Because you're not only going across oceans, you're going across hemispheres to the bottom of the world, all the way on the other side. Seamlessly. Cool stuff. We are on Governor's Comedy Network, as you know, and on Mondays I generally like to check the governor's schedule for this week. It is subject to change because they add special shows, but I'm going to run through what's to be expected at Governor's this week. And then sooner than you'll even know it, William Conway, the funny man from Grants, New Mexico, uh, will be with us. So let's see here now. Governor, where are you? Govs. Okay, here we are. Governor's main room in Division Avenue in Levittown, New York. Aaron Berg will be there this weekend, June 17th and 18th in the main room. Terry McNeely laughs in the Giggle Room on Friday, and Drag Queen Summer Royale in the Giggle Room. I'm sure there will be a truck, U-Haul truck full of protesters coming out for that one. If you don't keep up with the news, you probably don't understand that silly little joke anyway. Over at Bohemia, we have a stand-up showcase on Friday night. And I think I probably know some of the people, and we've probably had some of these people on. I don't have the full list of who's going to be there, but I think Rob White, who's been on this program, and a couple of other people who have been on this program will be there Friday night. On Saturday, Mark DeMeo and that's Adam Ferreira is coming there next month. I'm going to see if I can get him on this show. Adam is the drummer, former drummer from the Rockin' 45s. Is good friends with him, and I'm going to see if I can't get in touch with him and get him on next month when he's at Bohemia. Now, in Belmore at the brokerage, Stand Up You graduation. That's Peter Bales and I think Rich Walker uh, both do that. It's the graduation from the class, a comedy class that will be at Stand Up You graduation on June 14th, which is tomorrow night. Then Friday or Thursday night, the Great Long Island Laugh Off special event. I don't know what that's about. Let's find out. The longest running and most prestigious comedy contest on Long Island. Comedy contest. I don't like competitions. Long Island returns to another great year of intense competition to see who's Long Island's funniest new talent. It's always a great night and fun. So there you go. That's what that is. It's the Long Island Laugh Off special event. That will be Thursday night. Friday night. What's weird? They have it backwards. Friday night. Oh no, there's two things going on there. Friday night. Oh, Caitlin Cook is there Friday and Saturday night, but also Friday night, the brokerage open mic showcase special event. It's kind of weird. They have an open mic, I guess, before Caitlin Cook takes the stage on Friday night. So that's what's going on at Govs this week. And I'll check back later in the week to see if, any kind of special events have been added there. As I mentioned, William Conway will be with us in a short while. I'm gonna say I haven't sent Kiera the link yet for today, so I'm gonna do that now. I think Dykes and Man are planning a show this week, but I'm also thinking. I'm thinking Jamie's probably going to come up with a different excuse not to make it this week. It might end up being just Man, the Man Show, which I always said it should be. Right? Anyway, that would be Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern. Cat's being very funny again. They got rid of all long distance charges once they realized the Earth was flat. That's all I can say. The Earth is flat anymore. That's funny. What do you mean? I'm missing out on a whole lot of chat that was going on here. I'm noting your address for when Steve kicks me out. I'm showing up on Dog's Lawn. That's pretty funny. You don't have to. The door is open. You don't have to lay on the lawn. We'll just take you in. Carl had some wonderful breakfast, healthy breakfast this morning with black coffee, not like Craig's coffee. And William says drag shows are all fabulous, unless you're. I got into a YouTube comment thing with Matt Walsh, who is a transphobe, homophobe, just a guy who just hates people. And him and Professor Dave, who I love, we're debating on this whole bigotry towards trans people. Now, I keep saying, "Man, what? They're not hurting you. Why don't you mind your own business?" And they keep coming back with, "Oh, you know, can't you see how they impact our culture?" No, I don't see how they impact our culture. Tell me. Well, they want to use our bathrooms. Okay, here you go. So you want gender checks before you use a public bathroom. Is that what you want? You want to, so if you got to piss, you're in a public place, you got to piss. You want a guard there to say, wait a minute, are you a real man or are you just a woman who looks manly? Let me see your dick. That's what you want every time you have to pee at a public place. Do you really want that? Do you really see the road that you're going down here and the can of beans you're about to open up, yeah, can of worms, can of beans, for yourself when you complain. And what is the big problem if a guy in a dress or biological male who identifies as a woman, if he identifies as a woman and he needs to use the bathroom, well, she needs to use the bathroom at that point. You want to stop? You want to make them go in the woods? What do you want? You want them to be in the men's bathroom? Is that what you want? You want to see? So this whole idea of getting hung up on where people piss and shit. First you were in the bedroom, now you're in the bathroom. Mind your own fucking business. They're not hurting you until you are harmed by somebody, or can see any way that they intend to harm you. Fucking mind your own fucking business. I don't understand the trans mindset. I don't understand why gay people are gay. But it's not for me to do that. But if you want to take their rights away from them because you want them to be like you, they're not going to be like you. Accept it. The world is full of other people, other kinds of people. You don't have to like it. You don't have to hang out with them. But you have to respect their rights. And when it comes down to this is the biggest problem you have in life is wondering who's in the bathroom with you. When I use a public bathroom, my intention is to get in and get the fuck out as quickly as possible anyway. And you're gonna actually say that you know, it's not disgusting. If you've ever been to a public men's room and you're gonna worry about who's in there with you, no, I'm worrying about getting in and not touching anything and getting the fuck out. But I just don't understand the hatred and mean spiritedness of. I don't even want to call it conservatives because it's not even an ideology. It's just fear. It's being afraid of anything you don't understand. So I got into a little bit of that with some of his people. Yes, and Matt Walsh is just define a woman. Well, you can define a woman physiologically, biologically, but gender identification is a brain function. And just because you don't understand how their brain operates different from yours doesn't give you the right to take away rights from them, and it doesn't justify you being so afraid of them that they're going to change your culture, change the world you live in. Listen, they're not going to stop you from being a heterosexual if that's what you want. Well, sooner or later, we're going to live in a world where there's no more people because we can't procreate. You can. You think that's going to stop being heterosexuals? I don't know. I just don't get it. Live and let live, people. That's all I want to say about that. Uh yeah, yeah, everyone has a right. Good point. That's the point I wanted to make. Thank you, Dean. I should have just said that. Everyone has a right to a decent life. You know, I knew what you meant life, dude. You don't have to correct. You don't have to correct typos in the chat room, everybody, because I am the king of typos. Um, Today they're resuming at 10 o'clock today. They're resuming the January 6th hearings live on all network television and all that stuff. Trump is guilty, and I don't. You know what? I can prove that Trump is guilty. We all know Trump is guilty, but these people and claiming Russia great was all a hoax and all that stuff. And Trump isn't. It was now a Democratic rule. Now, this is what they're saying. The right people on the right are saying that January 6th was Biden's doing, and the Democrats doing. Now, if you follow that logic, Biden won the election, but he wanted to make Trump say that the election was stolen so that they would challenge Biden's election and put it at risk, all because it came very close. If Mike Pence would have done what Trump would have wanted to do, we would have been in a constitutional crisis. So this was Biden's plan to kind of go Trump into going that far so that he could eventually put him on trial. And as stupid and ridiculous as that sounds, the cult is believing it and running with it. It was feds, it was the Dems, it was Bottom line is these hearings are going to happen, and Trump is losing his mind. There's nothing more dangerous than a cornered animal. But here's the deal, folks. And I preface this by saying Trump is guilty. Trump is guilty. Oh boy, I hate saying this. Can he be put on trial and get a fair trial in America? Nobody's asking that question. They want to see him prosecuted. But how do you pick an impartial jury? Nobody thought about that. You're not going to get an impartial jury. People have made up their minds. Everybody in America has made up their mind whether he's guilty or innocent, or depending on your politics. Guilty or not guilty, he's not innocent. But the question remains, is there any venue in America where he could get a fair trial? How do you pick a jury of his peers that hasn't already made up their mind? So you can drag him away in handcuffs, but can they ever really prosecute him? That's a question. Nobody is asked that question. And congratulations to Matt Nappo for being the first one to ask that fucking question. Once he gets taken and dragged out in handcuffs, I would love to see that. Can he ever get a fair trial in America? Probably not. Almost definitely not. So that's that's something to think about as this shit goes on. It's really, really curious, and I would be glad to see where the legal arguments start to fall on that. So yeah, that's that anyway. We had, as I mentioned, we had a gig at the Aura on Saturday night, and Kira hit a dog and a cat and a deer and ran over my foot as she was leaving. And so we're really mad at her. Just put it that way. She's a very evil person, and so I had to supply my own happy news here this morning. And she's probably going to come here and probably deny. I guarantee you, she's going to be here any minute, and she's probably going to. I didn't hit a dog. I didn't hit a cat. I didn't hit a deer. I didn't run over your foot. This is what they do. They lie. They lie their way out of it. They deny. They just, it never happened. Anyway, she's here now. Let's bring her in and let's hear from her now. If I can find this damn music. Running over deer, running over bad person. Yeah, you owe me for my medical bills for my foot you ran over when you were leaving.
Hmm.
Do you feel any sorrow about it at all?
No. Yeah.
Well, you're not denying it. That's good. What about the dog and the cat and the deer you ran over?
I needed dinner.
No, really, you got to learn how to drive. Really,
I'm an excellent driver.
You're an excellent. You sound like Rain Man.
I'm an excellent driver.
Yeah. I bet you are, right. Well, how come it took you like 5 minutes to back out of a simple parking spot?
Because there were drunkards behind me and my backup camera kept beeping and they wouldn't get out of the way.
Wow.
Yep. So I didn't want
I-
to run them over. So I
Well,
just started slowly backing up towards them.
somebody who was there, uh, right in that vicinity. I can't say too much, but somebody who was in that vicinity got a DWI on the way home.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Was
That's
it
I
the
can't say
guy
anymore.
who was putting his head in all your crotches? Was it that guy?
Wait, I didn't know head and crotches. What do you mean? I didn't
You,
see.
you didn't notice that?
No.
The stage is elevated, so if someone goes right up to the band,
Oh,
their
that guy, the guy who
face.
was he put his face on my guitar at one point. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
No, it
but
wasn't him.
he went up to the guitar and he put his face in it, and then he went up to Mikey and just put his face in his crotch.
Oh, I thought he was looking into the tip jar.
No, no, Mikey was like, "What is he trying to do?" And he kept coming for him and putting his head in his crotch. I couldn't stop laughing.
I thought he was looking at the money in the tip jar, thinking he was going to take it.
Maybe, but he was so drunk that it just really looked really wrong. Like he was
What
trying to.
What a fucking imbecile that guy was, man.
Yeah, he was crazy.
So yeah,
Oh,
you know,
so
I
DWI. Okay, so it was you.
it wasn't me. No,
Yeah.
I didn't even drink. I didn't have.
I
a
saw
drink.
you had one too many.
I
Was
had
it
water.
Mikey? Was it Mike?
Mikey don't drink.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he did drink.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't him. No, I'm not going to say who it was because I've been sworn to secrecy on this, even though probably nobody really even knows who he is.
Oh,
You know,
some person. That's terrible.
yeah.
Terrible.
So I had to bring my own happy news, just in case you didn't. And my happy news was better than any happy news you've ever brought to this program. And the whole
You had a great BM. Was that it?
that you know what? That's pretty accurate. If you're talking about yesterday, yes, it was pretty good. And I
Lots of
actually
fiber.
I almost felt like I should let the world know about that, but no, that wasn't it.
Oh.
Me and my wife saved the baby deer who was
Aw.
dying on our front lawn yesterday.
Oh, little
But now he's not dying.
CPR.
She's not dying.
What happened?
The mother abandoned it. It had got a tick infestation in its eye. Ticks were all over its eye.
Oh.
And the mother abandoned it because she didn't want to get the ticks, when the thing feeds on the mother. So it was really small, tiny little baby.
Oh.
When we called 100 vets and nobody wanted to give us any advice on it. And finally we called an animal rescue farm at Santa Mauritius. And they came and they sent the vet out here and she took care of it and she sprayed it up and got the ticks off it and cleaned it up. And then she, but the thing is traumatized now and needed food from a eyedropper and all that kind of stuff. But she said, now it can never go back to the wild. It's going to the animal rescue shelter. It's going to live there with a bunch of orphans. So,
Oh.
and
They
we'll be
should
able
bring
to
it to
visit
the Long Island Game Farm. They have all the little.
Well, it's
the
right
deer.
near the Long Island Game
Yeah.
Farm. It's right up the block from there. The rescue. It's like probably about half a mile up the block from the Long Island. No, not the Long Island Game Farm. There's a petting zoo right on the corner or near the corner of Sunrise Highway and whatever the hell that road is in Santa Mauritius, the main road that goes down there. I should know this because I used to live right there, but I don't.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But good for you guys. Good for you saving that baby deer.
Yeah, they come here because they know that we're not going to let it die. They know the lawn to go lay on. But
Wow.
my wife was talking to it like and she was calling it baby. Like it doesn't have a name. It's a baby,
No.
baby. Like it's not going to respond. First of all, you could call it shit stain. And as long as you do it in that tone of voice, if it's going to respond, it's going to respond. But baby. I was like, what the fuck? It's not named baby. It is a baby.
It's a baby. I would have called it baby too. So I agree.
You would have?
Yeah,
Why?
because he's a little baby.
I would have said deer. Oh, deer.
Oh, that's a good one too. I had a
Yeah.
baby deer. I think it was like just birthed following me home from the bus one day, and it was going, Mama, Mama, and I didn't know what to do. It was following me, and it was all wet, like it was like just coming from the sack. I don't
And
know.
so what did you do? You just abandon it?
It was following me all the way home. And I kept walking. I thought I was gonna lead it into my house.
I want to know the ending. Did you abandon it? You left it out? You got in, you ran in the house and locked the door?
No,
Said,
he heard a dog and he got spooked and he ran into the woods.
okay.
And I never found him again.
Yeah. So you're blaming the dog for you.
I almost had a baby deer.
I think you chased it away.
I tried to eat it.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's what Mike Chavola is saying, veal.
You know, I don't like veal. It's very sweet. Sweet and chewy. Not my cup of tea.
You been to Louis in the Bronx?
Louise in the Bronx.
Louis in the Bronx. They got the old-fashioned pull-down toilet. Maybe if we stash a gun behind there, you know, you're really not Italian. I'm just finding out you're really not Italian at all. If you didn't know, you don't know that reference. Louis in the Bronx. Try to veal. It's the best in the city. They got the old-fashioned toilet with the pull-down chain.
But I don't go to the city.
Maybe we could hide the gun there. It's from The Godfather.
Is it really?
Yes.
It's too early for me. I'm sorry.
You're not really Italian. This is what it comes down to. You're not really.
Because I forgot a reference from The Godfather. I'm not.
Absolutely.
Really
Every Italian should know every line from The Godfather, inside and out, back, front, forwards, and backwards.
All right, I'll have to study it.
You definitely do. Come on.
Not in the summer though. I can't waste my summer watching The Godfather. I have to go out.
Take it to the beach with you. You could
do that.
Your phone right now.
I could do that. I just put my toes in the sand and just watch The Godfather. Yeah.
Right. So what else was your weekend like? Did you go to anything yesterday in beach or nothing?
Yesterday, I was in a funky mood yesterday.
Why?
I don't know.
It didn't rain. Me and Mikey was supposed to have a gig that got rained out, and it didn't rain.
Oh.
It's called the real water closet. That's what Chavola's saying about this. But Tessio says it's got an old-fashioned toilet. You know, the kind with the pull-down chain. Maybe we could find a way to stash the gun behind that.
It's coming back to me now.
Yeah. Louis in the Bronx. Yep. William Conway says he's very disappointed. He's Irish and he knows. So there you go.
Damn Irish. Damn it.
You know, Tom Hagen is German Irish.
Who's Tom Hagen?
Oh, come on!
Who's that? Who's this? Did we
interview Tom Hagen. He's their half brother. He's
Let me just look at it. I'm just gonna look at a picture of him because
Tom Hagen. Well, it's Robert Duvall played him in The Godfather. Tom Hagen.
Tom Hagen.
All right. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm a little tired.
No, you're not Italian. It's just clearly you are some kind of Middle Eastern or something.
You know, that's what my
grandfather said. Is she joking about the Tom Hagen? That's what.
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking. Just a joke. Nah. Sorry.
You know, I watched the original Siskel and Ebert. You know who they are, no? Siskel and Ebert.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, their original review of Goodfellas. It was really interesting to watch how they were reviewing, because talking about how Joe Pesci stole the show, and they were talking as like people might not know Joe Pesci at the time, which was interesting to me because they were saying the same Joe Pesci from The Raging Bull who played the brother, and it's like, wow, like you're talking about like people wouldn't know who Joe Pesci was. Come on. But anyway.
I passed up a chance to meet Joe Pesci.
Craig Johnson says, for fuck's sake, does she use ragu?
No, I would never. I make my own sauce.
Your father uses ragu. Frank
does?
Ragu. Isn't that his name, Ragu?
No, it's not.
That's his name. That's his name.
But you're trying to figure it out. But he does come over for my sauce. He thinks my sauce is the best.
His name
never
is
use ragu. Nope.
His name is ragu.
No, it's not. I said a can of tomatoes. I didn't say a fake tomato sauce.
All right. Okay.
And it's
But no,
gravy.
that's what he had on Facebook. No, he had something close to ragu on Facebook as his last name. It's close, but that's how I always remembered it. So anyway, anyway, William Conway is going to be here. I think he wanted to debate some religion stuff with you or something. That's why he's on. But I don't know. He'll be on in a couple minutes as soon as I get rid of you. So let's get rid of you. So no, tell me something happier than a deer story. Come on, pressure's on.
Well, I want to save my funny one for William then, and
Okay,
I'll.
save your funny one, but give me something happy. You got your clock is ticking. I'm looking at my watch here. That's not on my wrist. Go ahead.
I feel so pressured. This is from goodnewsnetwork.org.
All
And
right.
this is a study about how going to festivals can connect you to humanity and make you more likely to help strangers for 6 months after. This was a study.
I
This was
don't need that.
a Yale study. More than 63% of individuals who've gone to festivals said they had undergone a transformative experience. There have been many studies on the positive psychological effects of religious gatherings and pilgrimages, which have been found to create intense social bonds and feelings of unity in human societies, but little research on secular festivals. So a team of psychologists who just wanted to party from Yale University wondered if modern-day secular gatherings that emphasize creativity and community serve an even broader purpose. And after
All
taking a
right.
shit ton of LSD, they concluded that they were all
Oh.
one.
Oh yeah, of
No, I made it up.
course. Of course.
Mhm.
I
That
don't
last
need
part was made up. Go ahead.
oh. I thought no, because that would be the best part of it. And that made me happy. That was happy news. Everybody tripping their balls off. Um, I'm I don't need I don't need to go to festivals to be I get myself in trouble with this. I have a new homeless person living in my house now.
You do?
Yes, yeah. Picked him up at the soup kitchen yesterday.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, good. Okay.
But
Maybe.
he's on a 6-week short chain. Basically, I got him a job at Walmart. He started today,
Okay.
and he's got 6 weeks to uh, sign over his paychecks to me, so we can I can save it for him, so we can get a furnished room. I'm going to give him bus fare and lunch money every day. And if he fails, I'm going to kick his ass out and bury him in the backyard, and nobody will ever find him.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. uh, William's back there now. It looks like he's smoking dope. Yeah.
Oh, just a cigarette. Just a cigarette. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well, what's that behind you?
Yeah, no, that's my wife's favorite blanket.
That's the
Yeah,
pride
mine
flag.
too.
Yeah, yeah, and it's all rainbow and psychedelic. It is Pride Month. Yeah,
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I've been concerned about you because I've seen some things you posted on Facebook that had me a little worried about you. And listen,
Oh.
I said last week, I'm a moody bastard. I think a lot of
Oh yeah,
creative
it
people are
comes and
moody
goes.
bastards. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely comes and goes. I have good days and I have bad days, and I thank God that I have the wife that I have that is very strongly supportive of me when I have those bad days. You know what I mean? She doesn't. She's very good about not allowing me to be on my bullshit for very long. You know what I mean?
Good
Good.
for her.
If
Yeah.
I start being out of pocket or whatever, like she's got no. But I mean, we've had serious discussions about that, about my behavior and stuff like that, because I take a very limited amount of medication. I've worked very hard with my psychologist to not be on a lot of medication because I don't want to lose my faculties. I don't want to lose my personality. And that's
Right.
been a problem with me in the past, is over medication. So I work very diligently to not have to take a lot of medication, but that also means that I deal with more of my psychosis. You know what I mean? More of my problems are present and apparent. And if I'm not on top of that, if I'm not taking a true inventory of what my conduct really is, like I can get squirrely really fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you got my number, and if you don't, it's right there, 631-496-6464. It's on my Twitter profile. And
Right, right.
anytime you need, you can always call me, man.
I appreciate that.
And no
Oh.
lecture. I'll just listen to you, and whatever comes of it. But you have at least somebody to talk to, because Kiera, this is homework for you, because I've already played this for people. JessPaul.com.
She's amazing. I actually know about her. I came across her YouTube like a couple of years ago, and I'm a Jess Paul fan for sure. I've heard of her. She's
very cool.
Definitely she's got, and her reels. You're not kidding. You played a little bit this morning. She's got a lot of range.
She absolutely. That's what I said to her. Extreme range. But just a quick wrap up of that little piece. It's called The Funny Man. And what it is a guy who's about to kill himself. He's in his garage. He turns on the carbon monoxide, turns on the car, and seals off all the ventilation. He's going to kill himself. He calls the suicide hotline, and they put him on hold. And the next call that rings is her. She's a telemarketer selling life insurance. And but it's
impeccable timing.
Yeah, it's like life insurance. But it hit home with me because I said that last week or a couple of weeks ago when I was dealing with the stuff with Chad and then with Dean. And I put myself out there to people. Call me if you got ever feeling suicidal and all that stuff. And I know what suicide hotlines are like because I volunteered at them and things like this. And that's not really an unheard of thing that they might put you on hold if they're understaffed or they're busy, whatever it is, they don't have enough people to deal with everybody. They might put you on hold. And that's the last thing you want when you're feeling suicidal is to feel like, well, I'm not important enough to take this call right now. Somebody else is more important than me. So, but JessPaul.net, check out her reel. I promise you will thank me for it. You'll say, holy crap, she was on the show Friday night. She's the one who bought us coffee Friday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you want to go see.
Yeah.
JessPaul.com.
I am going to watch it.
What is Mike Chabot saying? You should bring the homeless guy on the show. His life is probably very compelling.
Oh, you want to have Joe Dirt moments or what? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, no, I would bring him on the show, but he better not be here during the show. He better be at friggin' work.
So you should record an interview and play
I'll do that. That's what I'll do. I'll get him, I don't know if he wants the whole world to know his whole story though. But we'll see. I'll ask
maybe
him.
He does though. I mean, maybe that'll help him. Maybe
it will. Just having somebody there to talk to. That's why I do the soup kitchen stuff anyway. I don't do a whole lot. I'm supposed to be doing a lot more.
Is it the soup kitchen in Riverhead?
No, it's in Rocky Point.
I had a friend from the soup kitchen in Riverhead. We actually made a couple songs together. And it was
There's never any soup in the soup kitchen, by the way.
No, it's never. No. I met him on the train, and he was playing his guitar, and I started singing with him. And then he invited me to the soup kitchen for some lunch. I didn't eat anything. And,
you get around, man. Get around. You've been with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, musically.
Yeah. I have. So, we recorded a couple songs, and I think I have our CD somewhere. And he had original songs. Yeah, it was really
I think
cool.
I have the song here. Hold on. Let's listen to a little sampling of it.
Question everything.
Would you consider that groove music? Is that groove music?
Yeah,
I was
definitely
grooving. I was definitely grooving.
Yeah.
I like
didn't
that.
know if you could see me over here, but I was.
That's the whole song, by the way. That's the entire song.
We should make a really long version of that.
Yeah.
Saying that question everything over
No,
and over
I
again.
would make some more lyrics.
like just tons of conspiracy theories
Yep, just
and
thrown
like
into there. Yeah, I already got it.
Illuminati references. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
just
You,
go
are
all
you
in.
familiar with Travis Lipsky? Travis
No.
Lipsky. He's one of the Unbookables. And last night I almost got into a little bit of a Twitter argument with him, but I said let him just have it. But he put out there he's got a problem with people who say not everything is a conspiracy. That's absolutely true. Not everything is a conspiracy.
Right.
That's not saying conspiracies don't
Some
happen.
things just
Of
happen.
course, yes, conspiracies happen, but not everything is a conspiracy. You can't say
Yes.
that everything that happens is a conspiracy.
Right.
But he's kind of he's one of these guys who believes that everything in the news is somehow tied to a major conspiracy. Whether it's a
Oh, the
school
news?
shooting,
The mainstream
yeah,
media?
whether it's a
Oh,
school
you can't
shooting
trust the
or a
media.
deer found on your front lawn. The government put it there. They just,
Right.
it's got a tracking device in it. Birds aren't real. They're on the wires charging up. The whole,
Oh man.
it's,
You know what though? If you don't have one or two of those people in your life, is it really exciting though? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get it, but when it gets really stupid, I just can't, and you can't argue.
that's when you walk away. You're just like, all right, I'm done. I can't anymore. You know, I got a couple friends like that. It's all right.
Yeah. Wait, what is this cat saying? This is not a bad idea. What did I mean?
What, the song?
I don't know what's not
No,
a
yeah,
bad
it
idea.
probably
Cat,
that's
clarify,
probably what they're talking about.
because it comes right after Mike Chevelle saying you should bring the homeless guy on the
Yeah,
show.
Oh,
I
maybe
don't
it's the
think
homeless
it's a bad
guy.
He's young. He's 23 or 24. I forget.
Oh.
And he's not gonna. He's gonna be okay. He definitely is. He's not beyond redemption. He's gonna find his way back.
Yeah, he's young. Yeah.
His mother is in Florida woman, and so the song she's saying is a good idea.
Oh yeah, woo!
The song is a
I'm
great
gonna
idea.
make a song. I'm gonna build on it.
Okay, but can I say something? I don't know how you recorded that. You recorded it directly into your phone, but it's got like a buzz on it, like. So I had to do a lot of noise reduction to take that buzz out. It sounded like you had a microphone into a
Oh,
system.
it might have been the AC.
So yeah, if you do it again, if you do anything like that,
Don't sing next to the AC with my phone.
Yeah. Get the buzz out of there, because other than that, the phone quality was pretty good. So sing it directly into the phone, but yeah, noise.
That's like one of my biggest critiques on all my videos is my sound.
Why?
Because I always have some kind of because it's really windy here in New Mexico. So anytime I'm outside, I need to figure out I got to cover my mic or something.
Oh, so you're doing you're doing it all outside?
Most of the time, because it's beautiful here.
Yeah, no, I get
So
that.
Just go find a nice damp cave and do all your videos from there.
Where is it?
Should I have a mask on and be like, you must come to my show?
Yeah, this is called the lavalier mic, and it comes with a clip. You put it on your shirt like this, and the end plugs right into the phone, and it will be really good outdoors. It's got a little windscreen on it. It cost me $9.99.
Lavalier.
Best quality ever for like iPhone or iPad or
Can I get that at Walmart or where?
Yeah. And yeah, so I'll find the link to that. It's $9.95 to get a decent mic to do that with.
Oh, send me the link so I don't have to put these in my head.
What do you mean? Oh no, it's not earphones. It's a lavalier mic.
Yeah, then I won't have these hanging from my head. But actually, I need the earphones because the kids sometimes listen. I don't want them to listen.
You don't want your kids hearing what I have to say.
Yeah, no way.
I think remember that the first time I was on the show and they complained about me. I think it was some of the content of our conversation that actually disrupted some of the old people that were having their coffee that morning.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't have headphones on. I just had my speakers going, and I remember I turned it down very quickly because of some of the subject matter, but it was too late.
I think, I can definitely freak out old people pretty quickly.
Me
They
too.
probably heard me and said, wow, that guy's really disgustingly rude and talking about cock.
But then you do all these nursing home shows. It's great. I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
just
mean,
like saying cock.
yeah.
Great word. Great word.
You know what? When I was a young man,
When I was a
I
young
used
man.
I used to exaggerate that word to my girlfriend's little sister, who was just like 17. She was still in high school, and I used to say cock all the time to her, and then and I did it enough that she picked it up like by osmosis and started saying that like how's your cock. So you see, it was like 16 and 17-year-old girl saying that stuff. It was funny as hell to me.
Probably got her in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
You
she got in
probably
a lot of
did.
trouble because of
Probably
me.
did, yeah. For
You got
sure.
some weirdo like, I'll show you.
I guess that was inappropriate, wasn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's different times, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that like I get that it's different now, but at the same time, like we can't take back what was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how things were back then. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's a lot of ways that I used to conduct myself that I would never conduct myself anymore. You know what I mean? Because back in the 90s, like I don't know what the 90s were like for you guys, but it was bananas for me.
I was like
You
2.
Cat's being funny. When will he admit that all the charitable work is all court ordered? I don't consider it charitable work, but none of it is court ordered. I've never been charged with anything in the United States. Never been even arrested for anything in the United States of America. Ever.
I thought you said you were. You have been arrested.
No, in Juarez. In Juarez,
he
Mexico.
He
I got
practiced in America. Yeah.
In Juarez, we were held actually twice in Juarez, held for, but it was not really it was by real cops, but we didn't go before a judge or anything. They were just shaking us down for money. Get your parents to send some money and we'll let you go. It was kind of that kind of deal. But no,
Right.
never actually had to go to court for any of that stuff. No, never been arrested for any of that stuff. I've committed crimes. I was thinking about this on the way to the gig on Friday. I have definitely committed crimes in my life. I've been a criminal in my life. I did some really horrible things if I think back on it, but was fortunate enough never to be arrested for it. So my thought was, a lot of people who get on this high horse about, criminals and all, crime and all this stuff. A lot of people, I'm not alone in that. I'm not the only guy who did bad things, was fortunate enough not to get caught doing it, and then became an adult. Yeah.
There's actually a great website. I think it's we'reallcriminals.com.
Wow.
That really breaks down the numbers. And like it really breaks down, like I'm pretty sure it breaks down like state to state what like felonies are and stuff like that. And when you go down that list, like you'll realize there's actually there's a number of things that most people have done in their lives. It was definitely criminal. Right. And one of the things that I know from spending almost 10 years straight in prison is that there's career criminals, and then there's also people that are in prison for what was probably the most crazy, tumultuous, what the hell do I do in this situation, 15, 20 minutes of their lives.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were in a crazy situation where something out of their control, like my wife is actually a perfect example of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, she was in with people that were doing methamphetamine and stuff like that. So that was like, her bad for being in a house where this situation happened. But she's basically staying in this house with this girl when she decides that she's going to kidnap some dude who was supposed to give him, she was supposed to get rent money from this guy or whatever, and that didn't happen.
Right.
And so when he wouldn't pay her the money, she decides to kidnap him. My at the time we weren't together, but my wife goes to leave because she's like, man, that's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be here. And that girl threw a machete at the door, or not a machete, like a hatchet. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
threw a hatchet at the door. It was like, you're not going anywhere. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And so now she's an accomplice in this. The only reason that my wife didn't go down as much as the other two, because there was a man involved also, was because they were going to kill this dude. They took him out. They drove him out to the country, and they were going to kill him. And she was like, and my wife was like, "Are you guys crazy? Like we've done enough already. We're in enough trouble. Like we cannot kill this dude." And the victim testified in my wife's defense, saying that they would have killed him if it hadn't been for her. And she still went to prison. She got an 8-year sentence and had to do 2 years of that.
Wow.
You know what I
Holy
mean?
God. Yeah, wrong place,
for
wrong
being in a
time.
house that some crazy shit happened.
Holy
You know?
crap, man. Yeah, so
Yeah,
your life
and
your
stuff
life
like
can
that
change.
happens every day.
Right. Your life can change in a heartbeat, and for good or for the worst. But the point I guess I was making is don't be judgmental, because there are too many people who like me who forget what bad things they've done in their life and look at people, oh, he's just a criminal. And I have friends like that I need to remind. A guy who I know when he was a young man got really he got really beneficial treatment for who he was and the neighborhood he grew up in. But if he was somebody else, a minority or a poor person or whatever, he would have went to jail for a long time. But he ended up never going to jail for any of his crimes. But he now is the most judgmental.
Is he Nancy Pelosi's husband?
No.
Oh.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, but he was, dealing PCP and got caught dealing PCP a couple of times. Got caught dealing weed, probably about 5 or 6 times. Got caught with weed, dealing it. And this was in the 70s when it was a crime, and never did a day in real prison. Just spent a couple of days in jail, but got court breaks every time because he was from a privileged neighborhood. But now he's my age, and he forgets. I have to remind him every time he starts talking about what a scumbag that kid is. Right. He's a kid. Remember when you were a kid? I remember when you were a kid. Let me remind you of what happened when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was in Denver and I got my windows busted out, I had to really step back and take some perspective, because according to the police and what they saw from the cameras and everything, it was just a couple of punk skateboard kids that decided to bust out my windshield and my back window at the same time. And at first I was super, super upset about it. But then I had to remember, when I was young and stupid, man, I did a lot of vandalism and stuff like that for no reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think we all have at one point. And really,
So to Kat's point, no, it's not court ordered. It's it's guilt. It's a guilty conscience, and I've said that a lot of times, because people, anytime somebody says, oh, you're such a good person. No, I'm doing this because I've never was a good person, and I'm just trying to cleanse a little bit of my soul as I possibly can.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, though. You know what I mean? Like wanting to, when you're able to bless other people, when you're able to help other people, especially people that have been in your situation, and maybe you see them going down a path you've been down, and you want to help them go in a different direction. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that changes people's lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can be, can it go bad, and has it gone bad? I heard you talk about the history, but at the same time, it can also be the pivotal point that absolutely changes someone forever. You know what I mean? And I never want to deny myself the opportunity to be able to be that. You know what I mean? And dude, I forget all the time. Especially because I don't go to 12-step meetings anymore. I used to be huge in the 12-step meetings, and the one thing that I miss about that more than anything was the fellowship, the
Right.
helping one another
Right.
when it's difficult. You know what I mean? But really, all I do today is I've shifted that more to my spirituality, more to the mental health aspects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't have the 12-step recovery program anymore. I'm not. They don't approve of my medication status. You know what I
I
mean?
get
So
it. Yeah.
it's
Yeah, were you talking about the medications making you not who you are? I had a stroke 7 years ago,
You
and
did?
yeah, I did.
Wow.
Um, and they put me on these stroke medications after, and it was I was bouncing off the walls. I could not stand it. I did not like the person I was, and that's when
right.
I said, I'm just throwing all this shit away. And that's when I got my medical marijuana card. And I hadn't been smoking in years. I haven't smoked weed in probably about 10 years at that point. And I said, you know what, I'm good. I'm just getting back on the weed. The weed will do. It will calm me down, keep me from having a stroke, and I won't feel like I'm on Thorazine, like doing the Thorazine shuffle.
Oh, dude, I've been
Yeah,
on Thorazine. It's no fun.
yeah, I haven't been on it, but that's how I imagine. Like the stuff they put you on for after you had a stroke, the blood thinners and all that stuff,
Yeah.
they make you feel like that. Like I'm just retarded, man, bouncing off walls and stuff. It was not fun at all. So
I've
Wow.
been I've been through the medication gambit pretty much. I mean, they've ran me through. But I mean, I've been seeing psychologists and stuff since I was 12. So at some point or another, I've been working, with counselors on and off all during that time. So
wow,
it's, uh, but I can always tell when I'm not keeping up with therapy or whatever. You know what I mean? Because that's when I really start to get. I can't be the only one messing around up here.
good morning, Jess.
Good
Good
morning, Jess.
morning.
Yeah.
It's really early in California where she is. If you missed it, but I gave Kiera an assignment to go check out your reel. I played a little bit of your reel for people this morning and was singing your praises. Really, and
Yes.
I'm going to
And
mention
I
it again
echo
now.
them.
JessPaul.com, man. Check out the reel. And
Yes.
if you can, if you have 15 minutes, 12, 15 minutes, something like that, I think it is, check out the entire A Funny Man film. And then there's other, there's lots of stuff of her work there. Once you go down that rabbit hole, it's really good, very wide range, very versatile actor, and incredible stuff. And I was bringing her up last night with Morgan Quaid because he is a um, self-published author, a comic book author and graphic novelist. Not so much he's written 18 novels, but that's not his thing. With 18, you would think that you call yourself a novelist, but he doesn't consider himself a novelist. But we were going down to crowdfunding stuff. This guy was an expert in how crowdfunding works and the best techniques to use and all that stuff. And he crowdfunds all the marketing for all of his stuff. And I mention that because Jess's film that is not yet in production, but soon to be in production, is crowdfunding. It's called Olivia's Day, and there's a link to that on her site if people want to help with that. Crowdfunding, William, is there any use for crowdfunding in comedy? Or not?
You know what? I mean, I know that some people use it, and I mean, in a way, like Patreon and stuff like that is kind of like that.
Yeah, nah, yeah, not the same thing. But
It's not
for
the same, but I mean, I think that's more of the vein that comedy goes to.
right,
You know
but
what I
for, like
mean?
for a special, or even like are you still in the production of this music album, or is that
It's
finished?
okay. So I'm waiting on my musicians right now. So this is what we decided. So we decided to send out my acapellas, and so I have a bass guitarist, a guitarist, and a drummer working on those like tracks off of my acapellas, so they can actually write around my voice and not
Wow.
So yeah,
That's what Kiara did with her album called "Question Everything." It's just basically she sang into a phone, and I did all the
right,
parts.
right,
Yeah, that's all
yeah.
the songs I write
That's a
there.
short
But
album, though.
Yeah.
we do plan on once everybody has, because I want to do 12 songs. It's going to be 6 originals, 6 covers, and so like I sent my acapellas of the covers and everything, so that they could put their own twists on it and make it their own.
Yeah. Did
So
you look into the legalities of the cover? Because with covers, you have to do it the right way, especially if you're
right,
going to put it
yeah,
on
and
Spotify.
that's that was the idea behind why I wanted to have them do original pieces. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I sang them. I sang the acapellas of the covers so that I can go with the changes that I want to have and everything like that, which allows them more room to do stuff different musically. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
Craig's writing lyrics for your album, Kiera. What does he say? You
Oh, let
see
me
it?
see.
It says,
No.
"Is the Earth flat? Using foil for your hat?
Oh,
Question
I
everything."
like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah.
That's a
Of
good one.
course you like that, you flat
I
earther.
actually want to buy this hat that says tinfoil on it. I thought that's
Why
pretty
don't you
cool.
just get a tinfoil hat?
I have one.
Oh, I know you did.
I already have that. Come on.
Yeah.
It helps me tan.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, William, you could send me a bus ticket, and I'll come down there and play all the parts on your album for you.
Hey, you
Send
can
me a
even
bus.
play the saxophone.
Man, do you ever ride a bus across the country?
You
Heck
can
yeah, I
even play the
have.
skin flute.
I've
I
also hitchhiked, dude. I've done a lot, but
I
I've
I
done Greyhound
rode a
coast to
first
coast,
time I went to New Mexico. I rode a Greyhound bus, and it was terrible. I mean, it was awful. Uh,
dude.
the
I love
bathroom
Greyhound.
the bathroom starts stinking
Oh
after
yeah.
like 100 miles or something, and the whole bus starts to reek.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, listen. Sometimes if you're on the right bus, there's people that regulate that, and that doesn't happen. You know. Hey,
You
I'm
can't
being real.
shit at this time.
Like
Wait.
for real, early, like if you're in the first 30 minutes, first 30 45 minutes of a bus trip, try going to the back of a bus in the first hour of the trip. You know what
Right.
I mean? If you got the right passengers, there's gonna be somebody that's like, hey, what you doing? You know what I mean?
Good.
like,
Good. That's
like
like
this
my
better
whole
be
entire
number one,
family.
sucker. You know what I mean? Like for real.
That's my whole family. My whole family. I'm the only one that doesn't do it, knock on wood. My mother, my aunt, even Matt, they have to go to the bathroom, like, right before we leave and right when we get somewhere. I'm like, but why? We just left the house and went to our destination, and now they have to know where the bathroom is.
Wow.
Like
Well,
everyone
I
in my
mean,
family. It's
some
it's
people it's nerves, you know what I mean? Like I've known some nervous shitters in my time, you
that's
know.
me. That's
Yeah.
me. That's me. Yeah, when I
nervous,
have
nervous shitters.
that's me. Nervous
Oh,
diarrhea.
You've never
Oh my
heard that
god.
term before? I mean, for
Oh
real.
yeah.
Like,
Right
dude, I
before
see
a
it at
gig.
comedy shows all the time. Like there was this one dude named Parker Munson that, like, dude, like he would show up to the venue hella early, but like you'd never see him because he spent like
That was
he'd be there
me.
40 minutes early, but he'd spend 35 of that 40 minutes in and out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know?
I think most of my career on stage has been able to deny any bodily functions. I've done a 6.5 hour gig without drinking, peeing, or any of that stuff. Or I think I turned my I don't know. I just my mindset is
I
just
mean, your
so
focus
tunnel
is
vision
different
on.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I
Well, I
don't
don't
even
pee
think
during
about.
our gigs. I don't pee. I think I pee twice a day anyway. But I do when I was first gigging and doing open mics and stuff when I first started. My mom was really pushing me to get out there. I do have to say she was the one who got me into all this. I did go to the bathroom like 18 times before I got up there.
Wow.
It was bad. I was very nervous. I'm not as nervous anymore, but some days it depends where we are. I'll get nervous and have to go to the bathroom.
Um,
That'll
did
Like,
Do you talk? Do you talk to her or not?
No.
You know. Oh, so you don't know why she doesn't like me.
I
Oh,
don't know why she doesn't like me.
I don't care. I'm not one of these people who wants everybody to like me. But
Yes, you
I
do.
want I want to know when people don't like me why. I'm always curious about that.
You'll
But
never get that
I'm
answer.
fine with.
I'm usually pretty sure why.
I have tried. I have tried for a long time to figure out why she doesn't like me. You know,
Well,
like
when you say you're pretty sure why, wait, what do you mean? You
Okay,
did
so
something to piss them off? Or?
yeah, no, like usually said something or at the wrong time or whatever, or was insensitive in some way. You know, that's usually why people don't like me. Um, but people don't realize that I say a lot of things just to ruffle feathers. You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like,
Yeah, me too. I'm always that way. Like I say stuff all the time I don't mean, and like
yeah,
I'm sure I was pissing people off with the monkeypox stuff a couple of weeks ago,
right.
but and I get addicted to it, and once I'm
like at the
very
gig
weird.
when
Yeah, I
everyone
was
put their
mentioning that yeah,
they,
like once I get into something, it becomes part of my DNA, and
they
I'm
put
not
their
gonna let it
fork
go.
down. They
Yeah.
put their fork down every time I'd say, and then they'd put their fork down. And I was like, please eat. You know, it's okay. He's just he can't stop himself. It's
Definitely a
fine.
character flaw. I need to be able to kind of
Yeah, no,
tell a joke
I
once and let it go.
I think it's been damaging to myself on more than one occasion. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like especially in show business, man, because show business especially is very left wing and I don't know, I'm an independent, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I say stuff that, in my opinion, I say stuff that should equally offend both sides. But it seems like the left is more
When
butthurt
is the
about it
left
most of
not
the time.
offended? They're always
Right,
butthurt.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's one of the best books I ever read was The Joy of Hate by Greg Gutfeld. And it really talked about the intolerance of the tolerance movement. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Yes.
to me, like a perfect example, and I don't know if you caught it in the chat earlier, but when we were talking about transgenders, you know, and I'm all about people being who they want to be or whatever, but I find it very, very interesting that you can't be who you want to be if you want to be an athlete in that situation. You know
Right.
what I mean? Now that's a big hubbub and a problem. But what happened to living your truth and everything like that? People don't want me to point out that stuff. They get mad at me and
Right.
shut me down and just and like that's why I like to preface it with like, no, I think you should be able to be whoever you want to be. But then at the same time, if you're going to say we accept you for who you say you are, well, if this is who they say they are, how can you say they can't do that?
Well, you
You know
mean
what
in
I mean?
sports? You know what? My take on that is, I think a lot of people, and a lot of people were saying trans women who are now men. Is that
No, it's more so
trans women who were biological males who are now identifying as
right
women, getting in women's sports.
and
I
just
think that
dominating.
I think they discount how really, really athletic some women. I know women who could kick
Right?
my ass.
Yeah,
I know women who could kick both our ass at the same time.
for
The
real, dude.
the
It
best fighter
amazes.
I ever saw in my life was a 4'8" woman who took on not just like 4 different guys in the bar, but when the cops came in, the cops couldn't subdue her. One guy hit her with a pool cue. Big dude, like swung on with a pool cue. She kept going. She was the
Yeah,
best fighter in the bar that night.
right. My
So,
first wife was probably the baddest chick I've ever seen. She took out 3 dudes one night on the street corner, and if you'd have blinked, you'd have missed it. She knocked all 3 of them out like in a matter of seconds, and I was like, yeah. So it amazes me how many like do you know? I don't know how many guys think that they could kick Ronda Rousey's ass, but
Yeah.
I know a number of guys that fully believe that they would win a fight against Ronda Rousey. And I'm like, are you out of your freaking mind?
Kick your head off.
Yeah, just because, and they think that solely because she's a woman. I'm like, you're out of your freaking gourd. You know what I
It
mean?
looks easy on television.
Right. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But I do agree that there are going to be people who take advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that that's really more so what they're talking about. I know that that swimmer was a big controversy because like they weren't even really ranked as a man, but then they transgendered and
That's
just
pretty
took over.
stupid. If you're gonna just do it for a gold medal, if you're gonna change your gender just for a gold medal, I think you need some psychological
I
You
think
counseling.
that
do.
men are biologically stronger and should stay out of women's sports. I like the picture of the transgender man on the first, he got first place. And then in third place was an actual woman with a baby on her hip. Received.
Right.
Now I
We,
won't be able to hear you guys.
that's
Damn
good.
it.
Can't hear? Why
Can
can't
you
you
hear
Damn
hear
it.
us?
I'll
us?
be right back.
Hello. All right.
Oh my
We're not.
god.
Let's not let her back in the room. Ah.
just just keep it. No, that'd be so wrong. She'd be so hurt.
Dean says his friend is a trans MMA fighter. Now, trans which way?
Right.
Yeah, it
That's a
always
great question.
confuses. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that.
Dude, I mean, my thing. Okay, my question is if you're gonna say that we need to be accepting of people and we need to allow people
But
to
why do we have
live
to
their
accept it? We don't have to
Don't
right.
accept it.
interrupt.
Oh,
Right. Oh, but see that okay, so the question is if we're supposed to accept people as they identify, then how can we limit that? You know what I mean? To me, you can't have both. You can't say that we have to be inclusive and accept everyone as they identify and
right,
then say, well, but your identity, you're identifying in a wrong way. You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right,
but that's totally what happens, and whenever you disagree, like it just gets completely shut down most of the time. And I don't
right.
understand why people can't just disagree.
Because they know
Like,
they're wrong in a way. They know they're wrong in a way, and they have to try and
Well,
like get
how
everyone on their
about this?
side.
How about this? My proposal would be to do away with sports altogether because it's a freaking archaic, ridiculous way to spend your life is watching other people play games. So and while they make money, and
but
Yeah,
then
right,
you go
what's
out.
gonna distract us about the real problems of the country then?
Yeah.
right, right.
Well,
More
you go out and
Millions
play
of
games.
millions of
Go out and
dollars.
doing it much
go out and
anymore.
exercise for your own self,
Yeah.
and don't you know?
Hey, do
Right.
you know that Jerry Seinfeld joke where he says we're just rooting for the jersey, not the guy? Because once the guy
Right.
changes teams, we don't like that guy
Absolutely.
anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And they're making
Right.
millions of dollars while we're sitting on our asses. I'm not a sports person,
Uh,
never been.
as a
I'm
Cubs
I'm a
fan, I
little
just
pigeon
want to
toed.
say Anthony Rizzo is a perfect example of that. I'm heartbroken right now. It pains me to see him in a Yankee jersey. Like it literally like I saw an image of that yesterday on Facebook and I nearly had a cardiac. Okay. As a
Oh,
lifelong Cubs fan, that hurt. That hurt so
Mm,
bad.
well,
mm.
that's why I gave up sports. When I gave up sports, September 28th, 2008, at 11 p.m. Uh,
Is that right? Is
yes,
that right?
I gave up sports because I realized it was affecting my life, and I had an emotional attachment that was just really it was ridiculous.
That's
And there
why I
was
stopped
and
doing
it was
fantasy football.
my teams would lose and I would be a miserable person and
Right.
reflect that. And I thought, this is not who I am. I don't want to be mean to my wife or kids because my team lost. And if I am,
Right.
there's something wrong with me. This is a dangerous
It's like
drug.
idol worship. It's
Right.
like
Right.
you
No,
worship these
for
people.
real.
It's
For real.
disgusting. Even celebrities.
Um,
That's why I don't pay attention to anything that goes on in the mainstream media. It's all about like stupidness.
yeah, I
Right.
did
Sorry.
fantasy football for like 3 or 4 years, and then like I got invited to a league again, and I started thinking about all the time that I invested in managing
Right.
my team and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, there's so much other stuff I could be doing with that time. And I was
Right.
just like, I'm not doing that anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm
Do
done
you have a
with that.
bucket list?
No.
Me?
Huh. Either one of you. Do you have a bucket list? Things that
Yeah,
you
I
want to
got
do
some things
before
I
you
wanna
die
do.
that yeah,
Yes.
like what? Like skydiving and what? And
Well, I
abreasting
want to wait till.
alligators?
Yeah, skydiving. I want to go. I want to go in the cage and see a great white up close. Don't chum the waters though.
Jeez.
Kill you.
Yeah.
Um,
You're not getting me in no cage for a shark. That's not
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, no, you could see a great whites up close right now. Just get your father to take you out in the ocean on that.
He doesn't take me out on the boat. He says I get up too late.
Now, first of all, I've seen videos with you out on his boat, so
No, those were
I'm going to
years
call
ago.
you.
That's years ago.
So
Recently,
get your butt up and go.
I'm doing the podcast. What am I supposed to do? Podcast from the boat?
What's his
Go
number?
ahead.
What's his number? I'll call him right now and tell him he's got to take you out on the boat. No,
Okay,
there was a great white off the coast just last week. So I mean, you could definitely go out and see it. There's not
I
a lot
want
of
to
them
see
out
it in
there.
the water. I want to, but through a cage.
You want to get in the water with them?
I want to get in the water with them.
That's crazy. That's just
That is
crazy.
crazy. That's
Yeah. Grab
where is your
the dorsal fin.
self-preservation?
So,
Well, once
That's what
the
you wanna
kids are
do?
in college, then I want to do like crazy shit, like jump off buildings and shit like that, and try everything, every
But I
drug.
mean,
Just kidding.
like some of those like zip line things that go
I've
for
done
like,
zip lining.
dude, some of the like the laying down, like I've seen one where you like lay down flat and like it's basically like you're flying on this zip line. That would be pretty cool.
I did a
will
zip
get nervous
line where
diarrhea.
the weight limit was 250 pounds, and I weighed in at 249 and a half pounds, and they put me on it, and they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna go really fast." I was like a rocket, and
That's
there's a guy at the other end who's supposed to stop you. I went right through him. I
Yes. Yes.
like a rocket ship. But yeah, so I don't know. At this point, I kind of think about what I would want to do. There's so many experiences I've never had, but I don't think I really want to have them. Like skiing,
Right.
downhill skiing, snow skiing.
Yeah,
I think
never
for
skied
me, it
before.
would just be falling down a mountain. Because
On skis.
yeah, well, the skis would get lost pretty quickly. I mean, I'd start on skis, but like, I'd fall on my side and then tumble over, and then it would be
okay. The trick is don't cross your skis. If you keep your ankles locked and don't cross your skis, you'll pretty much be all right.
Yeah.
But I'm
Like-
pigeon-toed. I'm pigeon-toed.
right.
My
But
feet
if
go
you
in.
if you
It's just
cross
gonna
your
happen.
skis, you're going to be in trouble. And it's
What
gonna
about
hurt.
hitting things like rocks or trees or whatever happens to be under the
Bodies.
snow?
I mean, if you're going down the right hill, is like start simple. You know what I mean? Go down the wide open hill that doesn't have those things.
Well, that
You know what
doesn't
I'm-
sound like fun.
Hold on, I got the guy again. Here he comes.
What
What's
guy?
the-
Oh
what
my
guy?
gosh. He's
What
cutting
guy?
the grass.
That guy.
He's
Oh, the
cutting
guy
the grass.
cutting the grass.
Go out and
Not this
interview him.
grass either.
I'm
Take
in
the
my underwear. I can't
Oh,
get up.
then definitely go out and interview him.
Yeah,
That would
He'll
be
stop.
interesting.
he'll stop.
No, he'll be like, whoa, he'll run away.
Come
No.
on, girl.
Wait, I was gonna say something about
Yeah,
skiing.
work on it.
Oh, Matt's a triple black diamond skier, right? So he's like all into it. He wants to take me skiing, but he doesn't have patience for me. Like he doesn't want to do the rabbit. What is it called? The rabbit
The
hills.
bunny hill.
What-
Yeah.
The bunny hills, whatever the hell they
Yeah.
are.
What
So
is a
he-
triple black diamond? What does that
I
mean?
don't know.
It's
I-
like different degrees of difficulty.
Like a black belt in skiing?
Kind of, yeah. You know what I mean? He's more like he could go down something that had a bunch of trees and zigzag or whatever. You know what I mean?
But why do you want to ski where there's trees? That the accidents happen. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, Sonny
you
Bono.
want me? Yeah, you want me to work up to the point where I can
Sonny
ski
Bono.
through trees that when you hit them they don't move, you do. Like your body's just gonna split.
Right,
Like
yeah,
why do
no,
I
I
want to
don't
do
want-
that?
I'm not doing
No.
that. Yeah.
Is that what Sonny Bono did? He crashed into a tree on his way
Yeah, I'm
down?
pretty
Crashed into a
sure
tree.
he crashed
Yeah.
into a tree skiing.
Wow.
I don't know why I know stuff like that. Okay, so I know tons of stuff like that, and I don't even really know that I know it until somebody said something, and then bam, if you watch Jeopardy with me, it's crazy. Like my roommates in prison would often be flabbergasted by the answers that I knew. They'd be like, "How do you know that?" I'd be like, "I have no idea." You know what I mean?
Right.
Why
Wow.
did you retain that is a better question. It's like why
Right. And I can't
somebody
remember
said
what I
that and
ate
you just said,
yesterday.
that's
Yeah.
important. I gotta remember that.
Yeah.
That's
No, and it's weird, but movies and stuff like that are really I have a weird memory that if I even stuff that I haven't seen, like I can walk in and see a movie for like 2 seconds and tell you what it is, even if I haven't seen it a lot of times.
Right.
And movies in the 90s and the early 2000s is it's like it,
not me.
yeah, it's weird.
I know old movies. I can't, anything after like 1995 or something. I wouldn't know any of the movies.
Right,
None
yeah,
of them.
because you get busy with life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
what happened to me.
pop culturally just out of it. I don't know
Right.
any, like anything that's
There's no
hip and
culture. What
popular.
culture? It's all.
I
It's
do think that that's part of
garbage.
the problem, because as a comedian, I've been thinking about doing more impressions or whatever, because I actually can do a lot of different voices and stuff like that. But I was thinking, I literally was sitting down the other day saying to myself, who's even an iconic actor to impersonate at this time? Tell me
Yeah.
who. Tell me who
Nobody.
is worth
They're all
impersonating that's not from the 90s or the 80s
right.
or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because am I really still stuck doing Jack Nicholson or Nicolas Cage or you know what I mean? Am I
Right.
really stuck? Because tell me who is an iconic actor for me to impersonate that everybody's going to know who the hell I'm talking about in an audience,
Yeah.
or at least the majority of them. There's
I know
there's
who.
not one.
The Rock. The Rock.
Okay,
He's
sure,
in
maybe The
everything.
Rock, but
Everything.
you got the eyebrows for that. You know what I mean? That's the problem there. It's because yeah, exactly. See, I can't do a
Not bad.
people eyebrow thing. My eyebrows don't function in that way.
Yeah, but they ran out of actors. That's why they use The Rock and everything.
In
It's
everything.
like every kind of movie there is, The Rock is in it.
Is that true? I wouldn't know. I'm
Every
so out
movie.
of touch that I wouldn't even know.
I'm so sick of him. Every movie.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see what his IBDM or whatever is, because he probably has been in just a ton of stuff. I'm totally looking it up right now.
Here he comes.
I think it's IMDb. You got me when I was like, "What? IDBM?" No,
Or,
Internet Movie Database. Yeah, I had to think about that.
Here he comes.
I don't talk right, I speak two languages, English and bad English.
Right. So, what's going on with you though? LA? Weren't you going out to LA soon?
Okay. Why am I not going? Because I can't afford to go to LA. Is why I can't go to LA. And I got a new job, and it requires me to be on site. I do have some shows locally going on in Albuquerque at this new venue called The Hall.
Got that, Craig? Craig's the only person I think we have from Albuquerque in our audience.
Dude, and it's super cool. It's a 420 friendly spot. You can bring your own bud and smoke in there. You can bring your own flower. You can do that. It's a dab bar, so you can get set up for dabs and stuff in there.
What does dab mean? Help me. What is dab? That's what I thought.
No, not that. No, a dab bar is dabs are like a concentrate of THC. It's and you gotta you put it in. God, I forget what they call it. It's not a bubbler, but they put it in this glass bowl and they heat it up real good. And it's they're really, if you get it at the premium temperature, you get the best hit or whatever, but it's a concentrated form of THC. It's a little bit thicker than oil, you know what I mean? It's like it's wax is also kind of like dab. Wouldn't that also be? Yeah. So
I'm just old school.
If you're not good at it yourself, they have people that'll set you up, and actually really cute girls will actually give you your dabs. It's really cool.
I know. I can never picture the day when I have to learn new technology just to get high. When I
Right? Yeah, I'm like, you do it because I'm gonna mess
What
it
happened
up.
to
You know what I
regular
mean?
weed? I mean, you
You
can't even
can.
buy
Well, and you
regular
can
weed.
do that. You can. They don't sell flour at this location. It's just a dab bar, but you can bring your own flour in and roll up and smoke. They don't care. Like
But
it's
you can't even
totally.
find regular weed. It's all got crystals and flavors, and
I'm. Yeah, but I mean, I love going to
find
the
regular weed.
dispensary. Like, I mean, dude, for real. Like the dispensary is probably my favorite place.
You know, in New York, it's just so weird. It's like because it's legal here, but you can't buy it anywhere. But somebody told me last week they were buying it. I guess the store just doesn't care about the law where he was buying it last week when Jackie was on,
Right.
same day Jackie was on. But
gas
we played
stations.
outdoors at an outdoor gig on Saturday night, and somebody was smoking it big time in this place. And
Someone's
you're not
always smoking when we're playing. I
yeah,
mean,
outdoors.
all the time.
You know, even indoor places I've smelled it at, but it's just weird that it's legal, but you're not. It's like supposed to be like cigarettes. You're not supposed to smoke it in a crowded
Yeah, there's
place like
certain
that.
settings that were like this hall. Like part of what they got to do is they got to like all the windows have to be covered. It can't be visible from the street. You know what I mean? So, but it's really not, like it's like an art gallery. It's really swanky. It's
I
super
just I
super
just
nice
picture
in
when you
there.
open it, all the smoke just comes out. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
it's like a hot
At
box.
some
Like
point, they
it's
got to open the windows and get some fresh
yeah.
air in there.
yeah, no, I mean people come in and out, of course, and there's a back door and everything, but it's a super nice setup, and the shows are free. The comedy shows, they're going to be doing comedy shows every other Friday, and then they do what's called karaoke every other Thursday. So like
Ooh.
whatever, what is ooh,
Karaoke.
karaoke, dude? Karaoke is like all the rage around here. It's like an open mic karaoke. Combination. So they'll do karaoke most of the night, but
Oh,
once 4 or 5 comics show up, then they'll do a comedy open mic, and then probably go back to karaoke for a little bit, depending on how long the mic goes.
You know what's
But
freaking me
yeah, it's
out?
pretty.
Um,
Huh.
I've just become aware of this on TikTok. You know how people will do lip syncing to somebody else's song. So you have a pop song and some girls just standing there making believe she's singing it.
Right.
People are doing that with comedy now. Lip
Oh yeah.
syncing
Yeah, they do it all the
comedy,
time. They do it a lot.
lip syncing to comedy albums. Like so,
Yeah.
it's not you're not even telling somebody else's jokes. You're just standing there while something else is playing and making believe you're
sad.
saying it.
I mean, there's
So
a
sad.
kid. There's a young kid that usually makes videos with his dad. That he does that a lot, and it's pretty entertaining. But the kid puts a lot of character into it.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah.
mean, uh,
A
you
small
know,
kid, I could see how I would watch that for a minute or so. A
right?
monkey, I would watch a chimp doing it. A chimp
Right.
like doing the George Collins
Yeah.
occupation fool or something, or
I
7
mean,
days
I do
work.
some Bill Cosby jokes sometimes, but that's usually because nobody cares if you steal from a sex offender.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
I
Right.
love in prison.
Right.
yeah. I brought the thing up about Norm last week because Norm's not so special. He's saying
Right.
some pretty transphobic things in that the same kind of stuff that Chappelle got in trouble for, but because Norm's dead, nobody cares that he said. You know what I mean?
I mean,
If you're dead, you can get away with it.
well, what are they going to say? What I mean, I
Yeah,
mean,
don't watch it, but they could go after. And I'm not saying they should. I'm not. I don't think
right,
anybody should ever go after comedians for what they say. Just if you don't like it, change the channel. Don't go to see it. Whatever.
right,
But the same stuff that Chappelle was getting hell for, and it's Netflix, and it's still on Netflix.
right.
The Norm special is saying the same kind of content is not getting any pushback from that same community, which is to me is inconsistent. And I'm not saying please don't go boycotting the Netflix because of the Norm special. That's not what I'm saying. It just seems
Right.
odd that it's okay for one person, it's not okay for another person, dead or not.
I mean,
Very strange thing.
I deleted my Netflix when they came out with he's pregnant or whatever. He's expecting. I
Oh.
I definitely was like, I'm done here. We're done.
Wasn't there a movie back in
He's
the 90s?
expecting.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
Yeah.
Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Danny DeVito.
Yeah, but that was done as a comedy,
Right.
something
Yeah.
outrageous that could never happen, not some guy who wants to be pregnant, So it's definitely like we're done.
Why?
So.
I would think as a mother and a woman who's gone through that, I would take pleasure in seeing a male have to go through the delivery process. Like
As a mother and a woman who has, who has bore children, you don't want to see a man, take that away. I mean, women have it hard, and we should be proud of who we are and what we
take
can
away.
do.
I like that. To me, doesn't sound like something you'd want. That's the hardest part of being a woman. I think is having to pass a watermelon through your little thing there, and so oh yeah, you think it's easy being a woman?
No, I think the hardest part of being a woman is dealing with trashy men that constantly say terrible things to you.
Yes, that's hard too.
All
Definitely.
right. We have to say goodbye to governors right now.
Goodbye, governors.
Time
Goodbye,
goes
governors.
by fast. Governors.
Say goodbye to my landscaper. Goodbye, landscaper.
Knock 'em Dead
Who's
Comedy
just
with
hanging
Tony
out.
and Sally is coming up on Governors. We are about to say goodbye to you. Thank you, Governors, for this morning. Be with us again tomorrow morning. And I forget who's on tomorrow morning, but I got somebody good tomorrow morning. And